no kwamo mianka na awodi nipa pina ekwa tetimu pao amani pampempema wale agu odia sampa spiritual and herbal center awo wo mo yade se wo mbemu wanya basisi a yade bi tise stroke gonorrhea anabama waye mre e wampamu low sperm count wo mo wanu aduro tatahwe ene je sam se seba ne sunsumu nsama wo mo telete se ye sunsumu aware anasa yare bi ne yade amawo pampabone anabo ana wanya abai amane e court case wo betu charge osisi a enam omadwuma panti ni pampempem ene be fo mo kofie ekoye sunsumu nyuma ede momo se mosini ene enzimani akabo mu dia sunsumu niama asie betu obi aje wukunu anasa wo yere awaresem adwuma sam akwantuo mu nsam ni nyina aya sumasem fabadan odia sampa spiritual and herbal center obehuyan of
New Koforidua ejoso ne konongo infinfin aye Ashanti region ehon ma number aye didi dwuma no aye 054 330 4976 anase 020 134 0421 054 330 4976 anase 020 134 0421
Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. You be diwa samama.
Alright, I'm mama mapaba about Odia Sampa TV. I am some for Odia Sampa ni. Trade ampo ebi kwan ni emi ehwe enwe de. Me gidi se ohun eye. Saa so na meso me ho eden. Abusua yebedi nkomo se na medi kan e ka kire ho no. Abra na Nana Kwame Bediako ede ne aniso ade hunu a owo ema oman Ghana no ede ebetu dwa no. Reaction ahodo bebre a ekoso no me say me de update ebebro this time around the try any eko Joy TV na omotisi monten so ekoye nkofo ahodo interview na eje Ghana for adwenkyere but this interview no the omu base one ni 12 ministers a ose ono omo ene ebeye adwuma because ye na ye nim say oman no ministers no edoso ena sika ye de mo ena minister we ena omo fu oni ade ni na no ebo oman ne ka na we no mutisi bonten so no Ghana for bebre na eche omadwen ye befa obi asem no na ya reality 11 onim se ne esi eye no dada na mesra na ne dedi kan washi Odia Sampa TV abe subscribe to channel no share na like it right afoforo no meka usieko no se ne be ya ye drop video foforo bia on sabekani afi won so free so be chewa adwen e wo comment section no ase wono oyo ba awo ho da adwen e ha be ma low sperm count anase omema sam enye yi enko ye kura udibo mu ana waje mu e ban say diabetes asthma hepatitis B eye kidney infection yare no edoso ye kase ebubodin ya adaje ebeboye odi obetumi ante obefa number no a egu ase ho no afre 054 330 4976 Enko video no embra.
Well, on 1st September 2024, Nana Kwame Bediako, aka Cheddar, the presidential candidate for the new force, launched his manifesto, which was dubbed the 12 Pillars to Economic Freedom. One of the key things that is attracting netizens on social media is the fact that he's going to scrap many ministries or maybe merge them together and work with only 12 ministers. Well, today we are out here to engage the public, to seek the opinion on this conversation. Your name, please?
Mustafa.
And
Jonas.
Okay. Now, let me start with you, Mustafa. What is your take on this? You think that Nana Kwame Bediako would actually be able to work with these 12 ministries that he intends to do?
Yeah, I think he can be able to work with these 12 ministers he intends to do because some ministries are there, they are not important. So I think when he comes, he should just reduce it so that we won't pay more taxpayers' money for these ministers because you can it's useless. Some ministries are very useless. You don't see what they do in the country, but then at the end of the month they take their pay, they do this.
Some ministries like
I don't know, we have ministries of railway, ministry of road and highways, ministry of aviation. They can all be grouped under one and do it like ministry of transportation, like the sports and education. We can merge it as one, sports and education, so that it can help us. Because Charlie, the money is too much. Paying these people, the money.
So you think this is feasible, right?
Yeah, it's very feasible. And then normally people comes and they will tell us that we will work with 50 ministers, 50, but then I think it should be less. 12 or to 20 should be okay for us. Cause yeah.
I see. Now let me come to you. What do you think about this too? Do you think the ministers? Do you think the ministers that he wants to work with would be enough for him to execute what he wants to do with his government, assuming he wins the elections?
To be honest, I've not followed his campaign properly, fully, but then I've always been of the opinion that the ministers are just too many. So to be honest, 12 is very feasible. Ghana, I don't think Ghana is that big that we should have so many ministers. So yeah, I think we are allocating too much funds into things that are not necessary. The money that we used to pay salaries and things like that for people who are not really working can be used to develop, can be used to, even if you pass Sakumono, the stretch the road, you see a lot of bad roads there and things like that. But yeah, we have ministers for things like that too as well. So to be honest, I think 12 is enough.
I also think 12 will be enough because Ghana, we are not that many as compared to other countries. So if he is merging other ministries and stuffs, he can do it.
So you think it's feasible?
Yeah, I think it's.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Running, let me say that a company, or let me say that an institution,
Yeah.
is not about too many people.
Yeah.
But the only thing is that the people that you get,
Yeah.
when the ministry that have been given assigned to them, they have their focus, and then believing that the tax they've given to me, this is how we should be able to run it.
Yeah.
Probably that ministry, since the person over there who have been assigned that duty know very well that it is a ministry that have assigned to me, and I am the one controlling over there. Definitely, they will be able to achieve the result that they want.
Okay.
Yes.
So you think that Cheddar will be able to work with 12 ministers in case, that's assuming that he becomes a president. You think he'll be able to work with 12 ministers?
Yeah, you can work with it. Many people would think that it's not easy, but it's about the vision of the person and how you'll be able to organize the ministry that you have been given. That is the most important thing. Because when we look at the Jesus using, let me say that the 12
disciples.
let me say the 12 disciples. What it means is that the whole thing is that they know where they are going.
Yeah.
They know where they are going. So it's about having that vision and then organizing yourself well. The ministry can be there, even though some people can be working under them. But since it's a ministry, somebody is minding, yes, still, you can still make it well so that you can be able to help the people.
I don't think it's possible. The reason why I'm saying that is in the kind of where we are right now as Ghana, I don't think he can work with 12 ministers. 12 ministers is really not feasible. When you start making promises like that, people don't even believe you anymore because some of them have come and they've told us all sort of things. I think if we were in a dispensation like maybe Rwanda, it can work because they already have the structures in place. But we don't. We are still learning a lot of things. So 12 ministers definitely will not work. I really will advise him to stop doing that because he should be realistic with that so that people would. But if he starts saying 12 ministers right now, I've closed my mind on it. But so yeah, so I don't think it will work. I don't think it's possible. Yeah.
That reducing the ministers, I don't think it's a new because you could see that and hear from the incumbent government, the flag bearer is actually also saying same thing. Like when he comes, he reduce the ministers. I think he said to 50, and then the larger opposition party NDC flag bearer also saying that when they come to power, he also reduce the ministers the size to like 50, if sure to around 50. So if he's also saying that is his story, he also have to tell us. But as to whether it is in African context, whether it's going to be possible, because we get to understand people the government that comes has to, in line with family and friends and that kind of thing, to employ people in order just to employ people. Not that, I mean, it is, there's some force somewhere that you must employ. Yeah. So that is where the problem is coming from. But for he saying it, he's not the only person that is saying it. Most people are saying it, but whether they can be able to implement it.
So do you think it's possible for us to work with just 12 minutes?
It's possible. That is what it's supposed to be. That is what it's supposed to be. But for the fact that we all agree, you can agree with me in the African context, whether which country that is running like ministers as you are saying like 12 in Africa here. So that is what the problem is. But that is an ideal. That is the ideal, yes, supposed to be.
Okay, for me, this is actually not feasible. Looking at the current state of the country, where the country has already been built on, like, we have more than even 50 ministers or so. At least even if you reduce it, it should be a reasonable number that he can work with, but 12 to be difficult. Looking at the administrative activities that is going to take on and the way the system has been set up, actually to be difficult for him.
So he wants to merge some of the ministries. So like some of the ministries, you wouldn't see them, unlike how now you see ministry of this, ministry of that. There's a likelihood that when he comes into power, his ministries are going to be merged. So let me say something like tourism. Under tourism, you have creative arts, you have sports, you have things underneath tourism. Instead of how now, like we just have different ministries for that. Maybe Ministry of Sports, you have Ministry of Tourism, but now everything's going to be merged together. He's merging things together to make sure that something is like, we don't have all those plenty ministries. What do you think about that too?
Okay, that one is not bad though, but we just pray he's able to do that. Because looking at how tedious it's going to be and how cumbersome like it's going to be in the beginning, but probably with time maybe it can work. But currently he needs time. If he wants to do that, definitely he needs to go through a lot of processes and like a whole lot of staffs before he's able to actually merge them into one whole unit and the rest. Yeah. Okay. Because there have to be a reduction in the number of, because definitely there's going to be a cut in those working. Yeah. Because he is doing it to save costs. So even though it comes with advantages, definitely we also have to look at the disadvantages. So you can say maybe it will work, or it depends. It's a double-edged sword.
Well, we've heard from people share their opinion on Nana Kwame Bediako's thoughts on working with only 12 ministries, 12 ministers, and what he calls the 12 apostles. Some are of the opinion that, well, it will work. Some are also of the opinion that it wouldn't work. But what do you think? You watching us right now, what do you think about this? Do you think it's feasible? Do you think he could be...
Abusia, video no ena yakwa haba no, but me much concern ebe busy wa ye nuaba no ensem a okan ye no eso. Nye nti a me busy wa ono ne de ne so e people's opinion enya ba akoda. Nti ebi susu se ebe ye. Obi susu se enye ye. But ye nuaba no, as a nice lady say, asama wokan ye say e wo se oye like realistic, and mihu realistic be a person Nana Kwame Bediako eye no ahano with MPP NDC manifesto ne there. Ofili said that one is the returns, but Nana Kwame Bediako there ne there invisible and say myth and say mirage be minim ne opese ochre, but ono no etumi achima say Rwanda for etumi asua ama anaso omo etumi aye ama na aye possible nti Rwanda mom de ombe etumi aye ama na ye, but Ghana de ye ya enye ye. You see the mentality of the average Ghanaian, and we would na honom na no brofo re obedwen so brofo na wo kan re ne de na say, but obekom no na aye empty vessel, cause asema wo kan say ono no kra de say Nana Kwame Bediako ho kra afono no waji no ho like how minim with enkoko buo ene enkoko ne enkoko aduane ne de oye okay with it, with bed tax ne ade a or twen because oye ni sisia na ontumi enya bi fa money manifesto na the following year no kwa wanya bi de aye na dwuma no oye okay with it. But with Nana Kwame Bediako presentation and 12 ministry na eno no ba be ye ne de myth mirage like invisible thing at the man. Wow, o man na ye timu no. You see the kind of people we mu nyina no na sebi wo ye ba ma bi a open impuntu ama wo madache no akọwale na wo kire ne se ye mfa kwan we su na no na be boy na obetwe wasan because yeah people be ebi mu dwen say no enye and ebi mu opinion ti omode ka say enye possible ina no mostly no based on the constitution because your constitution na actually say it was all the 16 region ne there yenya the ministers. But don't forget me kind of national Nana Kwame Bediako ba wa say your constitution ni nema hodo bebre wo ma useless e wo say amend nti e be amend constitution no and me there be am say we are the people that put him in power into okache say there be mo na mo de me ba yo ne me pese me be ye mamu ni mo mra na da ho na chechire mami to me nye we ya then ya na so we have to find a way of making him doing it ni na ne so man ne be ko ye de amaye and Nana Kwame Bediako is so smart but me no kasa nyina me say I was say ye nyina madaro ma mo bia onye obi a na betumi create content bi YouTube is not for everybody but we be video na try so be share message no ye nua ba ako in fact the last video I me post here obeka asem bi in fact eto makoma so or say sa track anything Nana Kwame Bediako e de ba ye no e represent adwen ye mpemfo no ejai ato achire no eno na ehye se oye dey or the eba nti me de sa ye kan say ne post na ebeto no no worry in fact nice idea ono so ehye ye then ni oye no so no etumi represent sa nti no wadawo ma mesro ebia bibi o no ma comment nkofo bebre eba comment section ase ebesua ade ehwe de message ewo honum say oh people are understanding what we are preaching and I say nkofo enti ase nti wo so wadwen kire ehia ewo comment section ase wono mesro so special wadwen ewo hono efi ye ko akoye campaign de aboye nua Nana Kwame Bediako adwuma ne de de ye kase ye jam no ko enye possible obi bia de kaka obetumi aye no ombo ne homode so obeye te sanya mekan local FMs na awe communities no ye betumi aye bisa and say ebia message bi awabo with your language we na wo ye no there are some other languages there e wo hon ma okoso local FM na 5 cedis 10 cedis ne board e kwa 20 cedis at least we betumi abobi ama enkofo e wo krom wonum so no enya crew and I say idea of what is going on in the community because enkofo bi na so enya nteneka most people are fed up with MPP and NDC now so no omunya hu the right person obetumi abwa into other Roma over media mjidi se onso uyo obi a oje Nana Kwame Bediako etum na obepese ye beye insisa contribution dia obetumi e de aboa ye se ne beye a ye beko akoye campaign we no you are welcome ye t-shirt ni bi e de account e ban se banner transportation any other ye de beko na ofra also okay me support e wo ha no and support bi a eba bia no me danadi ama atiefo enyina nti obi bia wa ye bi nso no ehu se ampa so me beka no aha no eno ene ade a ye nyina ye pese oman no eduko nanim a ye de ebeboa tifa number na 0543304976 efe ye nua baba akwa o UK di nokre catering services eba no se birthday party adore naming ceremony party bia pese wo ye no oye event organizer opese obe organize event no so mawa obeba be ye bibia no aye ho aduane eye pastries local dishes continental dishes ne dishes na aka ni nyina no obeba abe ama fa ne number no eda fryer no so na one ne nkasa babia wo bia no opese oba ho no ma negotiation ne ekoso a obetimi aba na waba abe edi ama makra